Hi, I'm Harold Sharp. My wife Shari and I both do Havasu Insurance here in Lake Havasu City. We do it for people of Arizona, California, and Nevada. And we generally work for those homeowners with excellent credit. We do what's called preferred insurance. There's preferred, standard, non-standard. I think you get the gist of it. We generally work for people that are claim-free for the past 5 years and hopefully have very few tickets or accidents. And let's move on without further ado. A lot of times this video is about people going up to me and asking me when's the best time to get insurance or how can I save on insurance. And a lot of it is timing, and a lot of people don't realize that. We'll actually get into some other things on a different video, but when is the best time to get a better rate on insurance? Well, when accidents or claims clear off your insurance record, usually 5 years later. So there's your first one. So if you don't have any accidents and claims, or all of a sudden they've cleared off, good time to go get another quote. When your credit score gets better, a lot of times you might buy insurance a couple years ago or what have you, or a year back. They don't recheck everything. They just keep billing you based on everything was the same information. So if in life, all of a sudden your credit got better and you started paying off your debts and getting ahead, and a lot of people have in the last few years, so it's not anything that you may not think about. It isn't like they just generally go out and do that on their own. So it's a good time to pick up the phone, call us and say, hey Harold, or Shari, my credit's gotten better, I don't have any tickets, accidents, or claims. See what you can do to give me a quote on my homeowners and my car insurance so we can try and get you squared away. When minors or tenants or boarders, roommates, what have you, leave the house, a lot of people don't know this, but what happens is when other people live with you, their address is connected to your address. And because some of the states have decided to do away with social security numbers, your address and anyone logged into it per se, and by that I mean someone that may have lived there even before you have, they may still show up on your address. They don't show up where I can see it as an agency person or an insurance person, but it shows up in the background. What happens, you end up paying potentially a higher amount for insurance simply because someone else used to live there or still does live there. So this is also a reminder, don't let anyone use your address ever. Even if they say they've got clean everything, their credit score can affect it. We just talked about credit score a second ago. So even their credit score can affect it, even if they don't have tickets and accidents. I don't care if it's your kid. If they don't live there, it's not their address. Let them use their own address. That's it. And so this will help you in saving money on your insurance. And sometimes it takes a while for it to clear off. So if someone used to live there 6 months ago, it doesn't clear off automatically in a few months. Generally clears off over time after they've gotten insurance elsewhere down the road. And if your house was a rental before you moved into it, heaven help you. When you buy a home, sometimes packaging home and auto helps. It really does. When you package your home and auto, sometimes they give you an extra percentage off. That percentage off could be as much as 8 or 10%, and it's a big difference. So sometimes when you add in other items such as the boat and the ATV and that sort of thing, it helps as well. When you get married, make sure you add each other onto the policies, and so it's all one policy. And do what you can to split it amongst yourselves. That doesn't mean if one person takes a car off or one person gets taken off, that policy drops for that specific amount. It just does not work that way, and don't expect it to. But when you get married, you're both living together, put your stuff together. It's a lot better and it's going to be cheaper for the two of you. We talked about marriage, now we're going to talk about divorce. Sometimes when you get divorced, By the time the divorce goes through and you start sorting out all your paperwork and thoughts and deciding to get your insurance squared away at renewal, one or the other sometimes has challenge credit, or they might have a claim or a ticket or an accident the other person's not going to not going to know about. So when someone moves on, it's time to remove them, just like we talked about those tenants and children and minors and that sort of thing. So make it a point. If they're no longer there, take them off the insurance and let them know. Don't just remove them and be spiteful. It's not worth it. All right. You've all heard about geographically undesirable in a relationship where people are too far away from one another. In the insurance business, geographically undesirable is people that move and hopscotch and move and move and move again. You might be considered geographically undesirable right after you move, even though you're the most responsible person in the world. When you move, you need to stabilize, and it generally takes a couple of years to stabilize. Your insurance rates will generally automatically adjust, but if they don't, you have a company that may not, and not all companies do it that way, you may want to reestablish, get a new insurance policy where you get a better rate for being there a couple of years plus. So geographically desirable, stable is what I call it. If you can afford to pay in full, you're going to want to. On some policies, you can save as much as 20%. And not only that, there's a company out there currently, and that can change at any time, that allows you to do 6-month pay in full, save around 18-20%, as opposed to just 10%, and then, or as opposed to paying in full for the year. Whichever way you want to do it is fine, but it's good to know that you can save a lot of money. So what you want to do is save as much money as you can and pay in full. And sometimes you're going to find out that if you're saving 18 or 20% in 6 months, well, if you were to put it on a credit card, I don't know too many credit cards that charge you, especially for preferred insurance people. No one's charging you on your credit card more than 18% for a full year. So it behooves you to pay it in full and pay off your credit card in your time. Now, here's one that a lot of people don't know. September is the best month to buy insurance. Here's why. Most insurance carriers, from my experience, and they can change prices at any time of the year, but they usually raise their rates between October and January. Literally right there, they start in October, November, December, and some wait as long as January, but you know, when you sell a number of different carriers, you start to see it right away on October 1st. So September is your best month to buy insurance, and then you're good until the next year. If you're buying it October 1st, you just got hit with the new rates. But that's something a lot of people don't know, and I'm trying to tell you so that you do know. Here's another one that nobody really knows. Apply and actually pay for and get your insurance 25 to 30 days before your renewal date. When you go to get a quote, like the insurance company already sends you your renewal, so you're not saving any money. But if you're going to move companies and you move and you call us and say, hey Harold, I'm supposed to get my insurance next month. If it's right there between 25 and 30 days, there's usually an added extra savings. That added savings could be 5%. 5% is nothing to scoff at, just for getting it in a timely manner. And so almost all insurance carriers give you a discount for saving money by buying it in advance. Some as few as 8 days, but mostly somewhere around 25 to 30 days. So think it through, get your insurance. If it's time to jump ship, you want to jump ship between 25 and 30 days. Don't try to jump ship more than 30 days. Set it in your calendar, 25 to 30 days. Pick up the phone, call us. We do quotes 7 days a week, daylight hours. All right. We talked a little about having home and packaging it together, but a lot of people don't know something else, and so I wanted to put one more in here. When you do own a home, they consider you more stable and more responsible. So they give you a better rate just for being a homeowner. So homeowning versus renting might be another savings. What you want to do is weigh it out and figure out what you got. If you own a home, you own a home. Don't fib and say you own a home when you don't. Don't fib on anything on insurance. That's called insurance fraud. You never want to do that. Just tell it like it is. But if you do happen to own a home and you got settled in, best time to get your auto insurance right after that, because you own a home, you get a little bit more of a discount. Again, I'm Harold, and I'm with Havasu Insurance. You can call us. We're very easy going. I like to joke around a little bit, so bring your sense of humor when you call me. Our number is 846-8003, and we're here to help you. We're here to try and, so there's going to be times right when you call, first thing we're doing is we're trying to see where we're placing you. So we ask you questions right off the bat before I even ask you your name. Why? Well, because we get a lot of calls from a lot of places, from 3 different states, from people that are doing all sorts of things. We get recommended by lots of people to their friends, and sometimes their friends aren't the best people. They don't know about preferred insurance. They just think, oh, Harold's going to save you $1. No, Harold's not always going to save you $1. Quite frankly, we send 2 out of 3 people packing because they are not really preferred insurance material. Preferred insurance, generally speaking, is 740 plus credit scores. We do write people down to 720. I don't check your credit, I don't see your credit, but if you have terrible credit, you're not really going to get a great rate from me, and you probably might do better asking someone else. Or pick up the phone, call me and say, hey Harold, here's the truth, ask me the 16 questions you need to ask me right away to figure out where I should go. I'm going to try and help you either way. And the reason why is one day you're probably going to turn around and call me back. Or you might see that you've cleared off your claims for $15,000, and making foolish claims for a shopping cart going into your door for $400 is asinine. Don't want to make claims. They stay on your system for 5 years, and you're paying for it for 5 years. I just had someone tell me that they're paying double the rates they normally paid, and because they had a number of cars and a wife that didn't drive so well, they had these little itty bitty claims, and she kept making claims for a few $100s here and there. Well, I thought it was asinine that the insurance company was raising the rates, but that's who they have. It's not someone they had from me. So before, when they thought they didn't really have much in the way of claims, well, their rates darn near doubled and almost tripled. So any one claim can almost double your rates. So you think about it. Is it worth it for me to turn in this claim for $1,000 when my insurance rates are $600, and then I'm going to be paying $1,200 next year, $1,200, and then they might start lightening down to $800 and then down to $600. And you need to understand that's how it works, and that's just the way it is. Again, I'm Harold Sharp. Call me or my wife, and we're going to try and help you get squared away with your insurance. Thank you.
Might want to turn that off.